For those that don't know me, I'm Virginia Walton. I'm an executive burnout coach, helping corporate women overcome the feeling of, Hi, for those that don't know me, I'm Virginia Walton. I'm an executive burnout coach, helping corporate women overcome the feeling of stress, exhaustion, and overwhelm so they can keep advancing their career and meeting all of their goals in life. So thanks for joining me. Today's topic is 3 ways to know if you are being productive or just being busy. There is a difference. I recently read an article on Inc.com that talked about the signs of exceptional productivity. And the one that captured me the most was that productive people have time to learn new things. So let's think about that for a minute. Busy people are just busy. They may not be taking time to improve themselves. Productive people have time to learn. That's time to work on them. Whether you're learning a new hobby, a new skill, another language, learning how to be a better leader, a better mom, you're learning. That's self-development. People who focus in part is the more you work on you, the better you're going to be for everyone you interact with, right? Busy is just exhausting, right? We're all constantly in our roles striving for greater productivity, better efficiency. But are we really getting it, or are we just being busy? So, as I thought about that reference that productive people have time to learn new things, of course I viewed the proverbial hamster wheel. That hamster's working hard and busy, but he's not getting anywhere. He's not learning anything new. He's just treading the same path day after day, after week, after month, after year, and not getting ahead. That's exhausting. That doesn't give you any mental energy if you just feel like you're going in circles, right? At some point, you don't go as fast. But you still got everything you've got to get done. So how do you know if you're busy or productive? Well, we already talked about one way, right? That you're making time to work on you, to enhance you in whatever it is you want to learn and develop. But setting that aside, I have 3 more. 1, you're going through your day, your week, your month, right? Tomorrow is the end of the quarter. Just getting stuff done. Which might feel great. You know, I love taking a Sharpie to something on my to-do list. But are you in alignment with your goals? If you're like, I don't know, goals, right? We set goals in January or February, we finalize them. I think I know what they are. I'm not just talking about the goals that you load into your HR system for your personal performance to be measured on at the end of the year. That's part of it, right? You want to keep line of sight. The last firm I was at, we were supposed to have quarterly check-ins with our managers to make sure we were on track to our goals. And if we weren't, you know what to do to correct them. I'm still waiting for my quarterly check-in from when that got implemented. I haven't been there in years. But check in with your own goals, right? You know what your performance goals are, and you should check in with those periodically. Even if your manager doesn't schedule time because they figure at this level, you know your objectives. You know how to manage it. You just need to do that with your people. Check in with yourself. And make sure what you're doing every week is moving you closer to them. That shouldn't be a once-a-year activity when you go and go, what did I do? How do I support that I made this? And you have to go back. Every week, they should be forefront as you lay out your week, right? You got to have a plan. You can't just keep going. Next, you're not in control of your time, right? Who's let their calendar manage them? Yeah, I'm guilty of having done that too. And it's a shift, right? I remember when I lived like that and I let my calendar control me, I still remember, and this is years ago, a colleague emailing me. She scheduled a meeting with me. She goes, "You had 30 minutes open yesterday or tomorrow," so I took it. And that's just how it felt. Like she took that time for me. I had 30 minutes without a meeting. 30 minutes to be productive. 30 minutes of my own time during my day between like 8:30 and 6. And she took it. And that's exactly how it felt because I wasn't controlling my time. I was letting my calendar control me. Right? We had become a culture of where meetings came up, you just accepted and moved on. There was a reward for being busy and having meetings all day. But then as I started to change my mindset and I took control and I realized that wasn't a productive, not only was it not healthy for me personally and my mental and physical well-being, but it wasn't healthy in terms of the quality of my work. And this became so clear to me when I had scheduled a meeting, and I would always lay out what our objective was, what my expectations were, so that people knew and they came prepared so we could have a productive discussion. And my colleague, who I respected, walked in and said, "What are we meeting about?" Okay. If he didn't know what he was there, one, as the person who scheduled it, I was annoyed that he's not prepared. He didn't read the material. He didn't know what I needed from him. So we weren't really going to move ahead much. Not to mention, from his perspective, how did he know if it was a good use of his time? How did he know if he was the one to be there, or if it wasn't one of his team members that should be there? Because he just hit accept and moved on. Oh, got it out of my inbox. No. That's not a good way to live. Because what happens then, and I'm sure you've all been in it, you wind up having a meeting about a meeting. Because now you have to sit and use that time to explain what they need, and then you regroup. That's a poor use of time. I'm going to give you a third example of a poor use. We used to have to do quarterly business reviews. So these were basically reported out to the executive team of the bank. Makes sense. You want to know that you're on track to your goals and objectives. Great concept. The problem was the preparation, right? Hours of material being spent and reviewed in a meeting format. There'd probably be at least 10 senior vice presidents and a couple of executive vice presidents in the prep meeting. And there was a few of them. So if you think about people at that level and what their salaries are, what that turns out to in terms of hourly rate, thousands of dollars were spent preparing for a meeting that all of those participants would be in, but they already all knew because we prepared the material and reviewed it multiple times, that then added maybe 2 more executive levels because we had EVPs preparing and working in the material. How? That's busy. That's busy. That's not productive. Right? There should have been a better way to create the material, review it, and have it presented to those couple of guys. Right? Odds are, I used to feel left out when I wasn't included, and then I got my seat at the table, and now as I look back, I'm like, oh, that was a really crappy use of time. That was busy. Productive would have been somebody preparing it, distribute it, edit. The edits go back to that one person that prepared it or, compiled it and sent it to the people who did their piece. And then it was reviewed and executive. There was a better way to do that. Last one, right? So we already talked about you're working, you're busy, getting stuff done, but it's not in alignment with a goal, or because you're not sure what your goals are. You're not in control of your time. And lastly, you're exhausted. Maybe you took a Sharpie through everything on your list, but you don't feel like you really accomplished anything. Reason being is there's always going to be something else on that list, right? Even when you get it all crossed off, you know you need to start a new list, right? As opposed to, hey, I've made progress towards my goal, right? I have a weight loss goal. I want to lose 10 pounds by this date. So that means I have to work out 4 times this week, and I need to lose 1 or 2 pounds this week. So you've done the workouts, you've watched what you've eaten, and when you get to the end of the week, you can say, hey, I'm tired, but I got in those 4 workouts. Check. And I got on the scale, and I lost 2 pounds. I'm making progress to that goal. I'm 2 pounds closer. I only have 8 pounds to go. Right? You've accomplished. As opposed to, oh, I exercised today because I have to exercise today. I crossed off the list. Okay. You got something done. Kudos. But is it in alignment with a bigger goal? You know? Okay. Probably sounds familiar. So, now, are you ready to make some changes? You want to be productive, not busy. Sign me up. Okay, they're not hard. It takes some effort, but they're not hard changes, okay? So I know we're already in midweek. So think about these as you come to the end of the week and you start to look at next week. First off, you should have a plan, right? I've read it in multiple leadership books, you know. Spend some time Sunday evening or first thing Monday morning. Map out your week. I like to do it Saturday or Sunday afternoon, depending upon where I have that time. I don't want to do it Monday, personally, because then I feel like I'm rushed. I haven't laid out my plan. Whereas if I can go to sleep Sunday night knowing, okay, I've mapped it out, I'm good. I know what my goals are. I know what I need to do, and I've blocked out the time for where these conversations, these meetings, these tasks need to take place, right? So the first step in doing that is you got to know what your goals are. What do I need to accomplish this week, this month, right? Friday, we start a new quarter. Great time to do this. Look and say, okay, I finished out Q1. I'm on track with my goals. What do I have to worry about for next quarter to make sure I'm on track for the end of the year, right? So it's kind of like little mini goals. So they need to be your goals, though, right? You may be in an organization where, you know, the goals get set at the top of the house and then they filter down and to create alignment. Great. But when you go and you map out your week, they need to be your goals, okay? Not your bosses, not your kids, not your peers. Yours. Why? Because that's the sense of priority. Your goals. Okay? Now that doesn't mean that it's all just about you, right? Look at, what do I need accomplished this week towards our business goals, towards our business objectives? What do we have to have done Q1? You know, what do I need to be starting at as we start next week is Q2, right? But what do you need to do to work towards your goals? What do I need to accomplish this week to move my family's goals ahead, right? Maybe as a family, it's finally taking a vacation, so I need to research destinations. I need to get prices on flights. We need to get passports, right? That's in alignment with your family's goal for a summer vacation. But it's what you need to do in support of your family's broader goal. You know, what are the priorities for your children's education this week? Right? Oh, not that they need to get this assignment done, but maybe it's, I need to follow up with a teacher on something, or I need to make sure that they've got the material for a project they have to work on, or they need their uniform. whatever. But it's what you need to do to accomplish the goals you have as a parent, as a spouse, as a sister, a mother, a daughter. What are your goals for how you want to show up in that role? Okay, so goals first. Second, look at your calendar. I mean your whole calendar, not just your work calendar, and say, do these events, meetings, tasks, activities, are they in alignment with the goals I've just set for the week? If they're not, why are you spending time on them? Ask yourself. You might say, oh, because actually I do need this to get to that goal. Or, oh, you know what? I don't need to worry about that this week. You know, our Christmas card list, I can update that in November, right? You can delay it. Or if you're like, I don't know why I'm invited to this meeting at work, ask. Because it's not, maybe they were including you as optional, just for awareness. Or maybe it's something you're like, we're not going to work on this till Q3. Why do I need to have a meeting first week of April? Ask. Okay? This leads. Now, you may say, wait a minute. I got to do laundry. I got to get groceries. I got to pick up dry cleaning because we're back in the office. That's not related to my goals, Virginia. It's just crap I got to get done. Yes and no. Yes, you got to get it done, right? You need groceries. You need clean clothes. But it could very well be in alignment with your goals, right? Let's use the children as an example. You want them to succeed. You want them to do well in school, have great educational opportunities, right? I'm assuming you want them to go to college. So, for them to do well at school, they can't be the kid that stinks, so they need clean clothes. They may need their uniform for sports activities or tights and leotards for dance or gymnastics, or you might need to go get them new point shoes because you want them to have that opportunity. So that is a task related to your goal. You want to be a good mom, right? You want to make sure your kids are well-rounded, that they have a variety of activities and experiences. You want them to do well in school, so they need good quality food. And if you don't go grocery shopping, then you're hitting McDonald's, right? That's not healthy and helping anyone if that's dinner every night because you didn't get to the grocery store. Maybe it's that you're planning meals so that you've got time to food prep so that you can get them to their activities and that there's still time for you guys to sit down and eat as a family. There's a quality meal as opposed to takeout or fast food because you're rushing, you're busy, not being productive, right? So it's a little bit how you look at it. So yeah, it might be. And you know what? But here's the thing. If you can delegate those tasks, do it, right? Secret, teenagers can do laundry. If they're in high school, they can make sure that they've got what they need for school in terms of clean clothes and clean uniforms and you know, whatever for every other activity. And guess what else? Grocery services, which are abundant now, they can save you time. I've heard so many moms, even pre-pandemic, when when we didn't have to worry about long lines or empty shelves, who would say, I don't take the kids, since I started using the pickup service, I'm saving money because the kids aren't bothering me. I don't grab anything because I'm like, oh, that looks good. You know, they buy better food, they stay on their list, and they save money. So think about it. There's some way those things that might be fudgy exactly how much their alignment with your goal. If you can delegate it, delegate. Now apply this to everything else in your calendar, and I mean at work too. Right? If you've got a meeting that is not related to a current priority, delay it. If it's for Q3, you don't need to meet first week of April, most likely, right? It's okay. If you're thinking, I can't delete a meeting with my boss, well, ask him, hey, I have that as a task for the end of the quarter. Can we push this meeting back a few weeks? I've got these other things set this week as a priority to focus on in relationship to this. And if your boss says no, well, wait, time out. Maybe you guys are out of sync on prioritization. I know as a former people manager, I would rather someone on my team, my staff, come to me and say, hey, no, let's delay. And I go, whoa, time out. And they say, I thought this was the priority over that. And be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can delay this. Or, no, we switched this, remember? Or, I didn't tell you. We switched this. And then great. I'd much rather them ask, hey, are we in sync on priorities or not, than go and focus all their energy on something that I've dropped down in our prioritization. Right? That's a healthy conversation. I can't imagine, unless they told you like 8 times and you forgot or you're just resisting. Otherwise, it should be a pretty fairly comfortable conversation. Do the same with your peers. Just because they've made it a priority does not mean it's your priority. So ask, can we delay this? Do you really need me? Case in point, the example I shared with my colleague. If you don't know why you're there, then you don't know what you need to do. So if you got the invite and you're not clear, ask, why are you including me? What do you need from me? They might say, oh, I just wanted you to be aware that we were doing this. Okay, great. Send me the minutes, right? Don't feel obligated. Control your time. Check your prioritizations. I know it sounds scary, but you can do it. It just takes a little time to build that habit. But you've got to, that's all it is habit. And it is doable. I had a client that she started just questioning, wait, why are you including on this meeting? She got enough time back in her week that she was able to start training for like this 100-mile bicycle run, right? Little tweaks, and all she did was start clarifying why she was needed at meetings at work. Imagine if you do that in everything, the time you might get back, right? Don't just blindly accept. Take control of your calendar, right? Set goals. Make sure what you've got on your schedule, on your to-do list, align to those goals. If they don't, take them off or delay them. And take control of your calendar. You don't have to accept every invitation, either professionally or personally. It's your time. You don't get more. This is the one thing that we cannot make more of. Use it wisely. So, thank you for your time. With that, check out my website, virginiawalton.com. If you're ready to make these changes, but you're not quite sure how to start, I'm here to help. It's what I love to do. And we will make sure that there is the right time on your calendar. So again, drop me a comment or message here and check out my website, virginiawalton.com. Thanks and have a great day.